Hello students, today we will discuss the poem To a Skylark written by Percy B. Shelley. To a Skylark is an ode. Ode is a poetic form which is basically a song written in the praise of some person, event or nature or some abstract idea. It is very serious in its subject matter and ceremonial in its treatment. To a Skylark was completed by Shelley in late June 1820 and it was published along with his lyrical drama Prometheus Unbound. Mary Shelley, second wife of B.B. Shelley, describes the event that inspired Shelley to write this poem, and she says, in the spring we spent a week or two near Livorno in Italy. It was on a beautiful summer evening while wandering among the lanes whose myrtle hedges were the bowers of the fireflies that we heard the caroling of the Skylark. Caroling means song. There they heard the song of the Skylark, which inspired Shelley to write this poem. If we talk about the structure of the poem, this poem consists of 21 stanzas made up of 5 lines each. The rhyme scheme of each stanza is AB, AB, B. There are total 105 lines in this poem. Okay, now let's go through the poem and understand its meaning. Hail to thee, blithe spirit, bird thou never were, that from heaven or near it pourest thy full heart in profuse strains of unpremeditated art. Inspired by the Skylark's song, Shelley celebrates that experience in this lyric. Addressing the spirit, he welcomes it and says, Hail to thee. It is a greeting. Welcome to you, blithe spirit. Blithe means joyful, happy, carefree spirit. The bird has been called a spirit. It has not been treated as an ordinary bird of blood and flesh, but it has been called spirit. As he further says in the next line, bird thou never were, you were never a bird, that from heaven or near it, as you belong somewhere from heaven or near it, and there and from there from heaven you pourest thy full heart. You are pouring, you are flowing in thy full heart. You are singing your emotions and feelings in profuse strains, in plentiful. Profuse means plentiful, abundant strains, in profuse strains, melodies of unpremeditated art, and your song is natural, spontaneous. Your singing is natural without any prior practice. Higher still and higher, from the earth thou springest like a cloud of fire, the blue deep thou wingest, and singing still does soar, and soaring ever singest. The bird who emerges or begins its journey from the earth can be seen flying higher and higher in the sky. Means its movement is upward. It has an upward movement like a cloud of fire, just as smoke of fire or flames of fire can be seen moving upward. Their movement is always upward. In the same manner, that bird is going higher and higher in the sky. The blue deep thou wingest. Blue deep is for sky. So it is flying in the high sky and singing still does soar and soaring ever singest. Both these activities of his flight of the bird and singing, they both go hand in hand, both are going simultaneously. The bird is singing as well as flying towards the great heights of the sky. In the golden lightning of the sunken sun, sunken means the sun which is about to set, which can be seen over the low horizon. So in the golden lightning of that sunken sun, over which clouds are brightening and around which clouds can be seen brightening with the light of the sun itself, thou dost float. It is again to the skylark, which can be seen floating and running, swimming and running like an unbodied joy. In that golden lightning of the sun, you can be seen floating and running like an unbodied joy. In the previous lines, the poet has used the word spirit for the bird, like an unbodied joy, and here says you can be seen flying like an unbodied. Unbodied means the joy which cannot be expressed, which cannot be seen, or which can only be felt. You are like a happy soul whose race is just begun, whose journey has just begun. The pale purple even melts around thy flight. The poet further says that the pale purplish light of the evening melts means comes to an end, giving place to darkness. So the bird is no longer visible. Like a star of heaven in the broad light, thou art unseen. You are similarly unseen. You cannot be seen any longer, just as a star of heaven which is there in the sky, but it cannot be seen in the broad daylight. So again, simile here, in the same manner, the bird is no more seen in the sky, but yet I hear thy shrill delight. But still I can hear the shrill. Shrill means loud, joyous delight of the bird, the pure happiness expressed by the song of the bird. Keen as are the arrows of that silver sphere, whose intense lamp narrows in the white dawn clear. Until we hardly see, we feel that it is there. Just as in the previous stanza, the poet compared the bird and its singing to a star in the broad daylight. Here in this stanza, he compares the bird with the moon. He says, keen as, keen means sharp, as and silver sphere means moon. Just as the arrows or the beams of moon are sharp, and whose intense lamp and whose intense light narrows fade away in the white dawn clear. At the time of the morning, the light of moon cannot be seen any longer until we hardly see. We feel that it is there, although we do not see, we cannot see the light of moon in the broad daylight, but we feel that moon is always there in the sky. Similarly, We cannot see the bird in the sky, but we can hear and feel its joy up in the sky. All the earth and air with thy voice is loud, entire atmosphere is filled with, is echoing with the sweet music of the skylark, as just as simile again, comparison here. When night is bare, when night is clear, there is no cloud in the sky. From one lonely cloud, the moon rains out her beams. Behind one lonely cloud, the moon emerges and rains out means spreads out its beams, and heaven is overflowed with its light. The sweet music of the skylark fills the atmosphere just as the moonlight floods the earth at the time of night. What thou art, we know not what is most like thee. Here the poet expresses his inability to figure out the real nature of the bird. He says, what thou art, what is your real nature? We don't know. What is most like thee? What does resemble you the most? We don't know. Because even from rainbow clouds there flow not drops so bright to see, as from thy presence showers a rain of melody. Because even the bright and lustrous raindrops falling from the rainbow clouds cannot compete with you. They are not as pleasant as the showers or rain of melody which I can hear in the presence of you, in the presence of that skylark. Like a poet hidden in the light of thought, singing hymns unbidden, till the world is wrought to sympathy with hopes and fears it heeded not. Here the poet compares the bird and its singing to the poet, to a poet, just like a poet who is hidden from the public gaze, lost in his own ideas, and singing, composing hymns, lofty songs, unbidden, spontaneously, discouraged by the people's attitude, till the world is wrought, till the world is brought to sympathy with hopes and fears. With hopes and fears means feelings expressed in the poems of that poet, which the word earlier he did not, which the word earlier did not pay attention to. The poet is presenting a series of similes to compare the bird and its singing, and here the poet compares the bird and its song with the song or the song sung by a high-born maiden in solitude to give outlet to her passions, like a high-born maiden in a palace tower, soothing her love-laden soul in secret hour, with music sweet as love which overflows her bower. Here he compares the bird and its singing with a high-born maiden, a lady of noble family, upper family, who is shut in her palace tower, and where she is singing or giving relief. She is soothing her love-laden, her love songs in solitude, in secret hour, with music sweet as love, and because she gives expression to the intensity of her passionate feelings of love, hence they appear sweet. Just as the lady cannot be seen because she is shut up in her palace, still her song reaches the people. In the same way, the bird is invisible, but its song can be heard. Like a glowworm golden in a dell of dew, scattering unbeholden, its aerial hue among the flowers and grass which screen it from the view. Here the poet compares the bird and its singing to a glowworm, a beetle. Ekjingur. Dale means grass, unbehold, behold means to see, and unbehold means which cannot be seen. Aerial hue, hue means color, aerial means sky, sky colors. So the poet here says that just as a glowworm which is golden and which is covered in a dale, which is hidden in a dew covered grass and which still scatters its sky colors, though it cannot be seen because it is covered from view by the flowers and grass, just as it is concealed by the grass, but it can be recognized by its golden light which it scatters around. In the same way, the skylark cannot be seen, but we are conscious of its presence by its sweet music.